И мы продолжаем. На очереди 6 раундов бокса в полусреднем весе. И прямо сейчас добро пожаловать в черный угол ринга из Намибии Jonas Jonas.
So next up a contest at welterweight, and this is Jonas Jonas of Namibia. 4 fights, 3 wins, 1 draw. This is his first fight outside of Namibia. He's had a couple of tight squeaks. His second and third fights he won by split decision over 4 rounds, and drew his last one. That was in November against Jonas Jonas. So difficult to take too much from the record. He hasn't had vast amounts of experience, and he's up against somebody in Evgeny Kool who is boxing an IBA.Pro for the second time tonight, but who has been boxing at top international amateur level for years and years and years. 22 years old.
Keep peace legacy floating in the air. We don't just win, we dominate the scene. The undisputed kings forever with supreme. Let's go! Established 2015, still the best. Can't bring the boxing promotions. Ring the bell. It's fight.
I'm certainly enjoying his introduction to the ring.
И прямо сейчас, дамы и господа, приветствуйте на пути в золотой угол ринга. Из Анапы, Россия, Евгений Kool.
Russia had a sensational Men's World Championships in Dubai in December. An enormous medal haul, and Evgeny Kool was one of those fighters. He got that silver, losing a good final against an excellent fighter in Asakuja Mudin-Kujayev. I remember seeing him for the first time at the World Championships in 2021, and he looked good there, but he just hadn't really managed to kick on from that point onwards. And it was big for him, the World Championships in Dubai. It was the same for a couple of the Russian fighters, actually. A few of the Russian fighters, that was the point at which they really needed to deliver on that promise. Ilya Popov was another one, just to give you an example, and he did it. Kool did it too, and that might see him now just kick on to a different kind of level. He got a 5th round stoppage in Dushanbe last May against Fariozbek Kakimov in a fight scheduled for 6 in his previous pro fight. And 2 young fighters here, 24 and 22, so I think this should be entertaining.
Итак, дамы и господа, это второй бой нашего вечера. 6 раундов бокса в полусреднем весе. Представляю соперников, и первым боксера слева от меня в черном углу. Ему 22 года, рост 180 сантиметров, вес 65,8 килограмма. Он участник Олимпийских игр в Рио-де-Жанейро и Токио с рекордом 4 боя, 3 победы при 1 ничьей, представляющий Walvis Bay, Намибия, Jonas Jonas. Его сопернику напротив 24 года. Рост 179 сантиметров, вес 66,5 килограмма. Его рекорд насчитывает 1 бой. В нем одержана победа нокаутом. мастер спорта международного класса, трехкратный чемпион России, финалист чемпионата мира в Дубае, представляющий Анапу и Московская торпеда по прозвищу Кул, Евгений Kool. Рефери боя Ираклий Малазония.
Irakli Malazonia just calling these two to the centre. I'll be interested to see how this goes from the bell because he looks quite amped up, Jonas Jonas. He's got plenty of energy. He doesn't want to be too gung-ho though, I wouldn't say, in the early stages. Evgeny Kool is a cold, clinical kind of fighter, but he does like to mix it. If you bring it to him, he will relish that. So Jonas Jonas just needs to make sure he doesn't give anything away here, touching the gloves. And one thing you notice about the Namibian is that he's got a beautiful long reach on him. When you see him from side on, that wingspan is quite something. Left to the body there from Kool, and he did some damage with body shots in the World Championships. Again, good left hand to the body there from Kool, who's just trying to lock on and find his range. Jonas just attempting to cover off his movement and see if he can let his own hands go. Pops out that long right hand, didn't quite manage to find the target. And finishing again on that left hand into the body there, Kool. And Jonas just trying to let that right hand go. Good jab there from Kool, no knockdown. I think he just turned around that front foot, the front feet clashed. Unorthodox against a southpaw, it often happens. Just shot with the right hand there, Jonas, but rolled away after he threw it, so didn't leave himself in any trouble. Looking for that right hand underneath there, Jonas. Didn't quite get it through. He dips a little bit too low at times, I think, when he looks to try and come forward. He makes himself a fairly difficult target, though, by doing that. Kool just trying to measure the distance with that lead right hand at the moment, really. He's got that left into the body a couple of times, but other than that, he hasn't quite found that range, I don't think. Short left hand into the gut again there, then the right hand up top, I think. Just snuck in around the back of the guard. And you can see there that it's the front feet just tangling as he looked to step off to his right hand side. Right hand landing there from Jonas.
Секундантный за ринг. Seconds out. Второй раунд.
Box.
So into the second, this scheduled for 6. I think
Okay.
quite catch fire in that opening round in terms of anything landing too clean, but the intent is definitely there from both of these two. And there's that long raking right hand again there that Jonas looks to throw. Left into the body there from Kool. Managed to find the gap despite those long forearms. You look at the tip of the elbow up to the tip of the glove there. When he drops those forearms in to protect the body, Jonas, he seems pretty capable of doing it. Almost just caught there as he's trying to adjust that belt line. I think he'd be better off just forgetting about that. Just caught Kool as he was coming forward there with a nice left hand. And Kool, I think, he's just up the tempo start of the second round, working those hands a bit quicker. Again, just hitting the gloves really with the jab there, and then it's the left hand to the body that he looks to step in behind. Right hook. Half landed around the back of the guard. This is good though from Kool. He's making things hot in there for Jonas. And he's not had the chance really, Jonas, to get too many punches off in this round. Just past the midway stage of it. Can Kool keep this momentum up going into the second half of it? There's that left hand on the inside. Jonas though just letting his own right go. And again just gets through with a right hand there. A right hand lands from Kool, and these two just getting to it up close. Well, he's gone down there, and we didn't get a very good look at that. Is that from a low blow? Is that why he's gone down there, Jonas? I think it must be, and that's why the referee is giving him time to recover. Well, that is low. That really is low. A slightly delayed reaction as he stumbles away, and then down he goes, and the referee can give him up to 5 minutes here to recover. Fighters never take that long, but they should probably take longer than they generally do take. It's a macho thing really. They don't want to look like they're hurt, but the trainer there I think is just telling him, listen, take the time, make sure you are absolutely okay before you start again. If you get to the end of the 5 minutes and the fighter insists that he's unable to continue, that he's not fit to continue, then the referee has a decision to make at that point. Either they accept that the low blow has incapacitated them to a point which means they cannot continue, and they'll disqualify the fighter who threw it, or they may decide that they're not really buying it. Either way, it's not relevant here because boxing is back underway. It was definitely low though, you could see that. Not deliberately so, but it was low. Good purchase on the left hand there from Kool, but Jonas, I think, half blocked it. Busy round that from Evgeny Kool. Momentum interrupted. Well, he interrupted it himself with that low blow, but the work rate from him was good in that round. Just trying to step around that front foot a touch.
Третий раунд.
Box.
So Kool of Russia in the white, Jonas of Namibia in the black. And that guard's been effective for Jonas. He's holding it quite high there, as you can see, and Kool maybe would be better off just going down to the body. As I say, he's got good history as a body puncher. I saw him finish a couple of fighters in Dubai with lefts to the body. So if he's going to pick up and keep those gloves high there, Jonas, then just take that body. Maybe those gloves will drop and he'll be able to get through that way. But he does drop that left into the body that time, and you can see that he just tucks that chin down, drops those elbows in around the rib cage, and defensively he's effective, Jonas. He tucks up pretty well. He just stepped in nice and close there, Kool, and then I think maybe felt he'd shut down his own space a bit too much because he didn't let anything go. And he throws a right hand as he steps off to his right there, Jonas. But this is good from Kool. Left hand into the body that time. Found a good angle for it because he's just staying on top of his man here, putting him under some solid pressure. I think feeling that this will tell at some point. Again, just looking to try and shovel that left hand in right underneath as he looks to crouch over. As I said, when he moves in, Jonas, he does dip low at the waist. It makes him quite hard to hit, but I think Kool feels that if he can land one as he's coming in with that kind of angle, it could almost be doubly damaging. Right hand there from Jonas, who's got enough to say. Kool, as I say, is trying to bring the heat here, but Jonas is never allowing him to really turn the screw too much. A good right hand there again from him. He does enough when he needs to, just to make his opponent really think. He's not come here to lie down, not by any stretch.
Секунданты за ринг. Seconds out. Четвертый раунд.
So into the second half of this fight, scheduled for 6 in the welterweight division. Evgeny Kool, the Russian silver medalist from the Men's World Championships, the IBA World Championships in Dubai last December. He's in the white, and Jonas Jonas of Namibia is in the black, who's given a decent account of himself so far. He's been mainly on the back foot. It's been Kool who's been looking to dictate, as he is now. Just little movements in and out with those feet. A well-schooled fighter. But Jonas has tucked up well when he's needed to, and every time he's had the opportunity to try and get some punches off, he's done his best to take it. That's a good combination from Kool, but again, most of it's taken on the gloves. And that's a difference between amateur boxing and pro boxing, essentially, as somebody once said to me. In the amateurs, you don't really need to hurt your opponent to win. In the pros, you do. You're looking to hurt that target, not just hit it. And quite a lot of the time, Kool is hitting that target, but I wouldn't say he's really hurting it. He's not really punching through the target sometimes. But the tempo's good, the work rate is good, the punch output is high. But Jonas again just steps in there and looks to let his own hands go. I wonder if in the second half here, in this 5th and 6th, we might just see him come into it a bit more. It's possible that Kool might tire a bit because he's set a pretty lively pace. And Jonas, I don't think has been worried by what he's been hit with at any point. He just hasn't had too much time to get his own work off. But I would like to see in this final 2 rounds, if he just got a bit of wind in his sails, I think this could get quite interesting. Maybe just believe in himself a little bit more. Tell himself that the power from his opponent here is nothing to get too hot under the collar about. Let's just step in and let my own hands go a bit more and see if I can take the initiative.
Listen, man, come on, stop. Box.
Again, just looking to try and chop down on that right hand. He led off with an uppercut there, pretty much, Jonas, and then put the right hand off the back of it. He's behind here, but as I say, 2 rounds remaining. I think he's got something left here, the Namibian fighter, and I just wonder whether he might be able to just increase that punch output slightly. You can see in the background there, left hand side of the screen, you would have seen him fleetingly. That was Evgeny Kool, the world and Olympic champion from a few years ago now. 2015 he was the IBA World Champion, 2016 he was the Rio Olympic champion, and what was a fairly infamous final against Vasily Levitt. Got the decision when I think most people felt it should have gone the other way, but that wasn't anything to do with Tizchenko. He's a regular attendee at these IBA events. So into the 5th, and Jonas was nice and quick up off his stool there, so maybe he can do what I'm hoping he might be able to do in this final 2 rounds and just see if he can turn the tables on Kool slightly. Kool will have something to say about that though. It can only really happen if his work rate fades a touch, I would say. And he's come out nice and quick again at the start of round 5. There's that right hand. He just slings it. And he's got that long reach, Jonas, as well. Just fencing with that lead hand there, Jonas, and that time just snapped it out a bit more sharply. He's got some good natural tools as a fighter, and Kool just looking to try and find that left hand underneath, which hasn't been an easy thing for him to do. Nice jab to the body there from Kool. Again, a very deliberate step outside the lead foot of his opponent, and just tucking up on the ropes as Jonas looks to try and let his own hands go a bit. Heading into the final minute of round 5. And again, Kool is setting those feet and looking to let his hands go, but Jonas covered up well. He's not been hit clean to the head that much, actually, which is, I've been saying, is testament really to his defence. It's a decent weight on those punches, the left hand down the middle and then the right hand round the back of the guard. You could see that they did register. Dug his toes in on those. Final few seconds of round 5 and good finish to the round here from Evgeny Kool. And he's kept the heat high throughout the course of the fight here, and I did just wonder heading into the 5th and the 6th whether he might just fade a little bit because he'd set a lively pace, but there was no sign of that. Left hand on the inside there was a good solid shot. There's that right hand into the body. That's a nice combination.
Секундантный зарин. Дамы и господа, финальный 6-й раунд.
So 6th and final round, and Evgeny Kool will be well ahead here. He's in the white.
Stop! 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 No holding. Box.
Again, just dipping low there, Jonas. Throwing that right hand, the referee just telling him to keep that head up. It's something that makes him quite an awkward customer to handle. I think it does take something away from him offensively, but defensively it makes him a difficult target to find. That's a good right hand, just step to the right and let that right hand go, but he had that left glove up there, Jonas, pretty much where it needed to be. He didn't stop all of it, but stopped most of it getting through. Final minute. It's been a decent fight to watch. Jonas at no point has looked to completely go into his shell. He's taken the opportunity to punch really whenever he's had the opportunity. But Evgeny Kool has pretty much kept him under control from the first spell without really hurting him at any point. He did hit him low earlier in the fight, and he's hit him low again here. And Jonas looked like he might have been hurt by that, and then has recovered very, very quickly. So there goes the final bell, and that will be a second pro win for the World Championship silver medalist Evgeny Kool. Good outing for him over 6 rounds. I wouldn't say he was challenged too much. He wasn't really under any particular pressure at any stage, but he gave Jonas Jonas his due respect and just boxed out the rounds. He was never looking all out for a stoppage there. He was happy just to box the rounds and see what happened, and his opponent never looked in any particular trouble. So good performance from him, I think, really, out of the away corner. The kind of performance that could definitely see you get some more work.
Итак, дамы и господа, в этом поединке после 6 ярких раундов бокса единогласным решением судей победу по очкам одержал и остается не знающим поражений. И за Анапы, Россия, Евгений Kool!
So Evgeny Kool gets it by unanimous decision to take his record to 2-0 in IBA.Pro. As I said, a good workout for him, a decent 6 rounds. And his opponent Jonas Jonas getting a decent hand from the crowd for the effort that he put in.